Hello everyone, welcome to next section of our video. In this section I'll discuss about the arrays which are used in Java for defining similar data types. So in this series of videos about arrays, what all topics I'll cover. Basically, what is an array and how many types of array are there, how we can declare an array, and how to create int and string array. In this I'll also cover about single dimensional and multi-dimensional arrays and how you can print array in Java code. So we'll be covering all these topics and you will get to know how you can write simple array in your Java code and use that while developing your Android apps. So let's begin with the section. So what is an array? Array is basically it's I can say a collection of similar type of elements that have contiguous memory allocation. So similar types of elements, by similar types of elements is if you are storing int type of elements, so all this allocation memory will be only integer type. If you are storing as a string type, it will be only string type. You cannot define like a array which will consist of sum of integers or sum of the elements will be string. You cannot define it in that way. So arrays basically are used to store data in a structured format, and they are basically list of items which are organized in a manner such that each item or elements in the array can be accessed using a number. Now what that number is known as? That number is known as the index of number and is simply a counter of the element that starts at 0. So index so for that, explaining that, I have just drawn here a diagram. You can see over here. So this is the index of number. Suppose we have some indexes 0 starting from 0 till 9, and in this 0 allocation we'll have a number allocated. In this 1 index we'll have some number allocated. So this is array which is of length 10. So these are the indexes. So that is what is known as a simple counter of the element that starts at 0. So the items in the array can be of any kind of data type or object. That's what I told. It can be of any type of data type, but it has to be of the same data type. It cannot be that in the first index I store a element or a data type of int data type, in the one index I store a string data type. That's not possible. So array declaration is very similar as a variable declaration. So that I'll anyways discuss when I'll come to the next section, how you can declare a array, how you can go forward with that. Before that, and we will also discuss about like types of array in Java. So basically, how many types of array are there in Java? There are basically, we have categorized it into a single dimensional array and a multi-dimensional array. Now for explaining it in a better terms, I have just put some diagrams or put some notes over here. You can see how we define a single dimensional array in Java. Anyways, I'll use this in the code and you'll have a better understanding of that, how we define a single dimensional array. So you can see you have a data type, you have a square bracket, and then array. So this square bracket basically indicates that it's an array, and this is data type indicates what kind of items are going to be held inside that array. So instead of this data type, if I put it here over here string, square bracket, and name of the variable, so it will automatically tell me that the array will be of type string. So this is the way of defining your array. And the basically second one, so this is how we do it for a single dimensional array. Now comes the multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional is same. You have a data type and you have a array reference variable, then you what type of variable you are going to use. So this is how in multi-dimensional you have two square brackets where you can give the value as to like I have given here a simple example like int. The data type is int. We have declared a variable array and then new int. So it is 3 and 3. So if you want to define 3 rows and 3 columns for your data, so you have to use a multi-dimensional array in Java. So this is the normal way of doing it in Java. So in the next section of the video, we will see how we'll write a simple Java class using array, basically a single dimensional array. I'll tell you different ways how you can define those variables, how you can instantiate those, and how you can print those statements. So thank you, and let's begin the next section.